What's up, y'all? Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to another video. We're doing something a bit different today, but let's jump in. So, with the news, or I guess the realization that I'm gonna have to remove the head from my motor in the last video, I'll link that up top if you guys haven't seen that yet. You can check it out if you want to, but yeah, with that news, I wanted to do something fun today. And so I have this project that's kind of for the future. We're not anywhere near it right now, but I want to kind of test some things, make sure it was going to work how I thought it was going to, all that kind of stuff. And so let me explain the project, and I will try to make this explanation not as long as a 2-week payday. So on the intercooler piping, almost everyone does the burnt titanium stuff. And while I do love burnt titanium, man, that's gonna look so good. Anyway, while I do love burnt titanium, love it, I wanted to do something a little bit different, surprise. And so I thought I would go with the brushed piping, but then I would maybe try to like burn my clamps. And so I got the clamps, and let me grab those real quick. Yeah, so I've got the clamps here. These are stainless clamps, but I'm gonna order titanium clamps for the radiator and some other places where I have the worm clamps. I'm gonna order titanium of those. I think you can get titanium of these as well, but I have stainless, and so I wanna try something with the stainless. I'm gonna burn these clamps, and I mean, stainless should burn the same. It's still gonna get hot, it's still gonna burn the metal, but I just want to see what happens. So I ordered 2 extra clamps for the kit. And so these are my guinea pigs, I guess. And so yeah, let's grab the torch and start burning some shit. Okay, so first I wanted to try one of my old clamps. This is not one of the ones I just showed you, but it's still stainless. But I just want to see if this will work and like it gets a good even spread of heat. So yeah, I guess here we go. Okay, so interesting. I mean, that burnt pretty well. I was kind of hoping for a more, it's more vibrant on the inside than it is. Let me see if I can show you. I can't really get a good angle there. It's more colorful on the inside than it is on the outside. So let me see here. Try this again. Woo, that's hot. Yes, the stone also gets warm, apparently. That looks better, but I am noticing, of course, I didn't think about this, but this is why we test. The internals of the clamp are like turning colors, like a discoloration. So it's like burning off the whatever coating that has on it. So that is good. Yeah, so after this thing has cooled, I mean, that looks pretty good. It's still not really as like, again, it's like super colorful on the inside. Look at that. But on the outside, it just looks pretty faint. So maybe if I burn it from the inside of the ring out, that will work. Okay, let's try an inside out burn. And if you work with metal and you know like how metal reacts and you know what's gonna happen, I don't. Now see, that was the colorization that I was wanting. So the inside out burn works pretty well, but this thing, it kind of gets spotty. Perhaps this is from where I got something on it. It looks like a spray or something, so I'm sure maybe it was just contaminated. Because I know they say if whenever you do like a tubular manifold, if you touch the manifold with your hands first and then it gets hot, your fingerprints will be burnt onto it. And so maybe that's what this is. Maybe this is just from touching it or getting some kind of spray on it, which is totally plausible because there's a bunch of sprays and stuff. These things have been around. So, but man, that looks much, much better. All right, let's try the actual clamps that we're going to use for the piping and see what that does. Another concern that I wanted to check with this was also if you heat them, obviously they're going to get hot and they could like lose their shape or something like that. So yeah, just doing a bunch of testing, and this is all quite cool. So yeah, and truth be told, I just wanted an excuse to use a torch. So. Now that looks super good. And again, this is like right here where I touched it at. I think that same principle kind of goes with like you get your fingerprint on it and it gets the oils and stuff on there. It's gonna do that. And so, damn, that looks so good. And it doesn't appear that the stud or this little, the tensioner part, looks like it stayed the same, didn't like discolor like the other ones either. So that's also a plus, but that looks really, really good. That's exciting. I'm gonna burn this one more time, see what happens. See if I can get it a little bit more purple, because right now it's kind of bronze, which works because I have bronze logos and stuff on my JDC parts, and so that could look really, really cool. So I'm gonna burn it one more time, see if I can get a more blue purple look out of it, and yeah, then we'll do the other one and see what I can do with that one. But damn. All right, I did it again, and it got a little bit better, but I think that first time is gonna be the best time, so I need to just keep the heat on it a little bit longer to get it to change the colors I want it to change, and not be as bronze. Because if you heat it again, then you run the risk, like I did up here, the metal gets uber hot. Like this thing was like glowing orange. And it turned back to like silver. So after it gets through like its heat cycle and its heat phasing, it goes back to silver. And so that is not what we want to do. And so I think that first heat job is going to be the way to do it. Just hold the heat on there a little bit longer. Yeah, it has those like stainings and stuff on it, but I kind of like it because it shows that like you hand burnt these, and it kind of shows the defects and shows how the metal reacts and stuff like that. So yeah, super cool. Okay, so we did the second one, and again, there's kind of some spotting, which I think I noticed something on it this time, which I definitely, I need something better than this stone, because being able to like rotate it smoothly is gonna become key, I think, because I was rotating it a little bit and it kind of got stuck and it got like extra hot right here. We burnt through the bronze phase, the purple phase, and then like the blue phase as well, and it went almost to silver. And so it's like a super, super light blue. So I'm guessing that that is because my heat was kind of focused on that one point too long, and I needed to like rotate it. Because over here, whenever I'm like able to like rotate this brick smoothly, and I can rotate it back and forth and get a good coverage, it's not so bad. So yeah, definitely gonna have to come up with a different plan than this stone, but man, I am really pleased with how these turned out. Like I said, I really enjoy being able to see like some of the defects and some of that kind of stuff on there, but also being able to have a nice smooth coverage and heat is gonna be pretty important. So yeah, this is awesome. So this is what I was talking about with like when it gets super hot in one spot, it gets that like sky blue look almost. This is my ARC shift knob. This is full titanium, and so whenever I reburnt this last time, like a long time ago now, I got that hot spot on it because it was a nice blue, but I wanted it to be a little bit more, so I heated it again, and then it got that hot spot right there. And so that's what made me think of that, because it's almost like silver in the middle. It doesn't even look burnt, and so that's what made me think of that on those clamps. And now that I'm looking at this thing, I kind of want to reburn it. So let's do that, shall we? So I'm gonna take some 1000 grit sandpaper and we'll just scuff this thing up, and we should be able to get rid of that burnt finish just like that. And so we can sand this thing down, and then we'll reburn it and we'll have a second try at it. And this time I won't give it a hot spot. We'll just we'll burn it real nice for one time and go from there. All right, we got it all nice and sanded off. I did move to 800 grit to get that stuff off of there. But yeah, nice and polished now. So let's grab the torch and reburn this thing. Yes, sir. That is a nice deep blue. Wow. So it's got some purple down below it here. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. I think I may have, so titanium, like from what I've experienced with this thing, with this shift knob, the heat continues to like spread. And so I probably should have stopped whenever it was like up towards the top here, because I do want like a purpley kind of like bronze look to it. That's too far down for me. I would like for it to be like up a little bit. I'm gonna let it cool down and see what it does, and then after that we can decide on what we want to do. If we want to sand it again and reheat it, it's not that big of a process, so it shouldn't take too long. So I'll let this cool down and then we'll jump back, but that is super sick. So yeah, it's still been about 30 minutes and this thing is still like unbelievably hot, but I want this purple look about halfway down. And so that bronze will be on the bottom half. And so as it's cooling, as it's cooling, it's getting that hot spot like on top again. So it definitely got too warm and the blue kind of went all the way down. That blue is kind of like the final phase of the heat. And so yeah, I'm gonna sand this thing back down and then we'll heat it again after it cools down, because right now I can't even handle it. I should probably let this cool a little bit longer, but I'm impatient. It's like a hot ARC potato. Ow. Okay, so it's been about an hour or so, so it's still a little bit warm, but I think it's okay to go ahead and start this again. So we got it all sanded down. Let's give it another whirl, and I just gotta remember to let off the heat whenever it gets a certain color. Well, fudge. We got some spottage here. I did spray it with the Prep All, but maybe that was something else. That's what I wanted though. As far as that coloring, that is really, really cool. So yeah, I guess we'll let it cool down for another hour and see what we can do. Man, this thing is radiating heat. Like right here, it's like burning my hand. That is wild how much heat is like escaping out of this thing. Alrighty, we sanded her again and I'll put some heat on it, and man, it came out absolutely perfect. There are no marks anywhere. I put some more Prep All on it and then I just used my gloves again. Thought maybe that was like, I just maybe bumped it or whatever, but yeah, that came out absolutely perfect. The purple was about halfway down just like I wanted it. The blue on top, bronze on the bottom. Damn, it looks so good. Now, letting this thing cool down, because I have learned that this thing, I mean, still, it's been about 15 minutes and it is just so hot. It's crazy. But yeah, that is done. Very happy with that. And yeah, learned a lot. Based off of my experience here with this titanium stuff, once it begins to turn like a deep blue and into the purple, you could probably begin to like fan it out where you want it to go, and not so much in one little area, and begin to fan it out and then just stop, because the heat, it radiates, and so it will continue to be hot and it will continue to like fade down into the piece. That's the shift knob. I don't know much about like piping and whatnot, but it has to be kind of close to the same, I guess. Maybe I'll buy some pipe and try that, but for now, pretty cool. All right, one more time with this stuff. God, it's gonna look so good. This piping with this clamp, whew, look at that. That's gonna be a nice contrast. Look how cool that looks. So that was fun, but we learned a lot. We learned a lot about that titanium and how that works and the heat and all that stuff on the shift knob. We got it looking super good. We learned a lot about those clamps and about how I want to do that. That inner burn, I think, is going to work better for me and how I want it to look. We'll throw some Prep All on those clamps when we do it for the car, wear some gloves, and we should stop that contamination maybe, hopefully a little bit. But yeah, thanks for watching and sticking around. If you did, I appreciate it very much. As always, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the process, the progress, and if you guys have any questions, drop those down there as well. I'm glad to help much as I can, chat, whatever. And I will see you next time where we're probably going to tackle this bitch. I don't know, it freaks me out. Bye.